Well, good afternoon, guys. For those of you who have been around my channel for any length of time, Malcolm and the Hidden Woodsman, they're probably not very much of a stranger to you guys. Pretty much, if I have to make a video, if I'm going out into the woods, if I'm taking a collection of gear or tools with me, that gear is contained within a pouch or a bag or something that Malcolm has made. So that being said, you have probably seen quite a bit of his gear featured on my channel, whether it's the object of the video or just an accessory that I use to actually build up to a video or to make the video or just to go out and camp or whatnot. Anyway, what I'd like to show off to you guys today is some new gear that he's put out for 2016. It is available on the market, if I understood him correctly, as of today. And yes, I realize today's April the 1st. This isn't a joke. I will leave a link to his website, which will hopefully have, if not right now, very soon, some more information about this gear. But anyway, guys, without further ado, let's get around to the gear. Welcome back. Thanks for choosing to spend your time with me today. One thing I'd like to point out really quick before we get into the gear is that with any bag, belt pouch, or whatnot, the kit or the gear inside changes almost every single time I use it. I don't build a lot of kits aside from a get-home bag and just some first aid kits and stuff that I keep inside the house or my vehicles. You know, stuff changes so much because, you know, I've got a lot of gear coming to me or coming through my hands, and so, like I said, you know, the gear inside changes. So instead of showing you a specific kit build, I'm going to show you how I've been using this stuff in the last couple weeks since I've had it, just to kind of give you guys an idea of the versatility and just how much gear you can pack into these bags. Let's do a quick introduction really fast and then I'll get into the individual pieces. This right here is my get home bag or my get home rig, whatever you want to call it. This is not made by the Hidden Woodsman. This is the bag I want to highlight most today. This is what he calls his possible pouch. This is what he calls his belt pouch, and this is what he calls his fire bag or fire pouch. These two are not new to the Hidden Woodsman. He's been making them for quite a while. However, these for 2016 do come with some changes. I will go over that here in just a few minutes. But first and primarily in this video, I want to highlight this Possibles pouch. Now, I have used this Possibles pouch in several different ways. I mean, the name even says possible, so it's basically anything you can imagine that will fit in there that you can do. But I wanted to highlight the first way that I've used it, which is tied to my get home bag here. And that was simply to hold if I can get it out, my first aid kit. I'm not going to break down all the kits that I've built for these, but I will highlight a little bit of each just to kind of give you guys an idea of maybe what's possible and also just how much stuff you can fit in there. I went ahead and put the first aid kit back in here so you guys can just kind of see how this fills out while I have it close up. I would like to point out here that all the zippers, nylon webbing, stuff like that, they're all military grade. You have a nice carry handle. Get it down here where you can see. Get a nice carry handle for your hand on one end. You also have a loop on one end so you can take a carabiner and put it on your ridge line or hang it off a tree limb or something like that. While we have it full, let's go ahead and get some quick measurements. You're looking at about 9 1/4, 9 1/2 inches of usable space lengthwise. Widthwise, you're probably gonna get, it looks like by the seams, you got about 5 1/2 inches at the seams, but the sides are flexible enough you can really stuff it full. So probably 6 1/4 inches. And as far as deep, flattened out, you probably seam to the seam you got about 3 1/2, 3 1/4 inches, but again, with the ability to stuff it full, you probably have about 4 1/2 to 5 inches. Here's an inside view of the seams. See, a lot of it is double stitched. Nice straight stitching, nice and sturdy. I've been using Malcolm's stuff long enough that I can tell you that his work is rock solid and it's not going to come apart on you. Now let me show you how I have been using it. In the last few weeks, I've been using it as a range bag for my truck. I'm a firm believer in concealed carry when you can, but just because of the nature of my life, there are a lot of non-permissive environments that I have to go into almost on a daily basis, so I can't always carry on me, and I needed something to contain my gun when it's not on me. I've got this thing stuffed out. I'll highlight that a little bit more in a minute. First off, obviously, I need to carry the gun. Some days this is a Glock 19, today it just happens to be a Glock 26. I also carry my flashlight. This is a Phoenix PD-40. The purpose behind this is to recharge that battery, and for that, just have a RAV Power battery pack in there. This stuff is with me in almost every kit that I have. It's a Dragonfire first aid bomb just for any boo-boos you happen to have. A sharpening stone for my knife, and down in here, just have 4 spare Glock 19 magazines. It's a pretty simple kit, but it's nice and convenient for me and for what I want to do. As you guys can see, you can fit a lot of stuff in there. Not only can you fit a lot of stuff in there, one of the handiest things about this is the handle. I don't leave this in my truck overnight, so this makes it extremely simple just to grab it and walk in. The next thing I want to highlight is this belt pouch. Now I'm really digging this thing. It has a compression strap here so you can stuff it to the gills, snap it closed, and then compress it down tight to make it a smaller package, keep it secure. It has nice, sturdy belt loops on the back. Again, this is military grade webbing. One of the things that I immediately noticed about this belt pouch as opposed to some others that I've used is that it has a wider footprint. It doesn't have one single one in the middle, it has one on each side. So it keeps it nice and secure to your belt, but at the same time it spreads the weight out over a greater area of your belt, which helps prevent belt sag if you have this thing loaded down heavy. Real quick on some usable measurements, you're looking at about 9 inches lengthwise, a little over 5 inches widthwise, and your depth of usable area is probably going to be around the 3.5 inch range. It just depends on how much you stuff in there and basically your organizational skills. Now I have used this thing with a ton of different configurations on the inside. I'm just going to show you how I used it the last time. It's been 2 or 3 days ago, I believe. You guys know I'm a friction fire bug, so it shouldn't come as a huge surprise to you that it's geared towards that. Sometimes I find it relaxing just to run out to the woods and whip up a bow drill fire real quick. You guys have seen this is from hot box stove. It's just a ferro rod with a whistle and a bow drill divot right there. Been keeping the signal panel that the Hidden Woodsman also made just as a barrier for my knee against the ground, because the ground around here this time of year is constantly wet. Backhoe Laplander. This is the last bow drill set that I made. And then finally, just some spare cordage so I can whip up a bow for the bow drill. So as you can see, you can fit a good amount of gear in there, even longer gear like this Backhoe Laplander and the spindle from this bow drill. It fits. You can fold the flap down even if it doesn't fold down flush. With that compression strap you can cinch it down tight. And lastly for this video, we have his fire pouch. What's new to this fire pouch is this zipper right here. Before he's had Velcro, before he's had compression straps. It just depends on what year and what model you got. These things have evolved greatly over the years. Since the last model, I believe the dimensions have changed. It's gotten a little bit bigger. Usable space lengthwise, you're looking at about 7 to 7.25 inches. Widthwise is a hair over 6 inches, and depth is really going to be dependent on how much you stuff in there, but you're probably looking at about 2.25 to 3 inches of usable space depth-wise. Now this fire pouch, it changes every single time I go out. This one, it's set up for a video that I plan to do in the next couple of days. But it's just got a bunch of fire gear in there. Got a spare lighter. You guys have seen these before. They're the Easy Light from Firebox Stove. These things are one of the best commercial fire starters on the market, but yet they're all natural. It's just wax and cedar shavings. Got some poplar bark that I've harvested here recently. Got a mag bar and ferro rod, also with a ferro rod scraper that I made. Flint and steel kit. And then a live fire survival kit that we will be testing out here soon. So as you can see, it can hold a pretty comprehensive fire starting kit. One thing I do want to point out with these military grade zippers, if you are choosing to keep tinder, other natural stuff that is fibrous and stuff that can get caught in the zipper, it is military grade, so it's not going to mess the zipper up. Even if you have this thing stuffed to the gills with cattail, grass, poplar bark, whatnot, even if this gets stuck in the zipper, it's not going to screw it up. Well, that pretty much does it on this show and tell of new for 2016 Hidden Woodsman gear. Guys, I would like to encourage you to check out Malcolm and the Hidden Woodsman. All the links and relevant stuff will be in the description of this video. Malcolm is a great guy. He has very similar values and ideals. And Malcolm is a family man. He earns a living for his family running a small American business, which is really hard to do these days, and it's an honor to call him a friend. And folks, all the gear that Malcolm makes, it's made out of military grade materials. The Codura he uses is water and weather resistant or proof, depending on which grade you choose to buy. Like I said, I highly encourage you to check him out. Well, I'm not going to ramble this into the ground. If you guys enjoyed this video, helped you make an informed decision, please go ahead and hit that like button. I do appreciate it. Also guys, if you want to see more stuff like this, hit that subscribe button down below. And as always guys, hit that comment section up. Let's talk about this gear, other options out there, maybe Hidden Woodsman gear that you guys have and enjoy. Anyway, folks, I will see you next time. Have a good day.